Alright, so this is my current sort of tour of the organizer that I have for Root. This includes all 14, 13 factions, depends on how you want to count the vagabonds. It includes all upgrades outside of the mats, like the resin and stuff is in here. The only thing that this doesn't include right now is the clockwork expansions. Also, the hirelings are all in this box. I don't really have a good organization for that, so I'm not going to be showing that right now. But here is my updated Root organizer. So, you have all the how to play booklets and the rules, and then you have the 3 boards with the 6 maps on them right here. So that's there. And here is the organizer itself. It is a bit of a work in progress. As you can see, there's some stuff that just doesn't really line up the best. But yeah. So it's going to look a little different from the video that I uploaded recently. So I'm just going to go through those differences mainly. So first of all, I have all the equipment from the knaves right here, in addition to these reminder tokens, and I also have the burrow from the duchy in this little box here. Underneath it is this tray that holds these starting items and the vagabond meeples, in addition to player 1 and player 2 tokens right here. This is the swamp covers, and then the pond for the diaspora, and then underneath is the Twilight Council and the diaspora themselves. In this bag, I have the little sort of chit pieces. I like having these around because you can turn them face down and randomize them, and I have them next to the actual resin markers. Next to that, I have the Enclave soup markers, but I also have room for the actual Enclave markers in the frogs and bats right here. So this just has everything the frogs need aside from, well, like in terms of tokens and meeples. The bats are also right here, have everything they need. To the right of this are these 2 little pieces. These make up a card holder. This is for the otters, and you can put the cards in like so. It can hold up to 5, and you can, of course, spread it out so the center one is there. You get the idea. It's pretty simple, and it will, just sort of slots in right here. Now, the major thing that I changed here was on the side. It's this piece. This is an organizer for all the landmarks and the ruins, tiles, the starting items, etc., etc. And here I have actually been able to add the deck of cards. I have the starting deck so that you can choose from any of the 3. To the side here, we have all the different things. So in here you have the new rabbit clearing marker for the swamp. Got all these. I haven't actually used many of these aside from the tower and the raft, so I don't know too much about them. This is the mice. The tower is right here. You got the treetop. This, I think it's like the Lost Souls or something. I forget what exactly it was called. And then this slot right here shares a space between the anvil and the foxes. I couldn't really think of a much more elegant way to do it aside from just putting them here. That's what works, so that's what I do. Here are the dice, and then under here are the covers for the mountain map. most of what I just showed is things that I took from the previous design that will be linked, and they are modified to hold more things. You probably don't need this tray if you don't sleeve your cards, but I do, so yeah. Or if you just have a deck you never want to use, you probably won't run into this problem. Underneath this, in the card tray is, these are the other decks. You have the Exiles, and then you have the Squires. These are just the full decks, and then underneath here is all the other tokens for all the different factions. So you have the Duchy here, their crowns and all their tokens. Lord of the Hundreds, here's like the fancy big meeple, has his own little slot. Here's the lizards. I couldn't find a way to put them all in the way they were meant to in the first print, because they're a little thicker, so I lay them like this. Additionally, they hold the Lord of the Hundreds die. I could not find a better place to put them, unfortunately. You got the keepers right here. The new Knaves of the Deepwood. I didn't actually make this organizer. This is just the Woodland Alliance, and I just reprinted it. It's a little loose. I could probably tighten this up a little, but like it works. You have the Riverfolk Company. My meeples again were a little bit too thick, so they're placed like this. You have the counters and stuff inside there. And you have the Corvid Conspiracy with everything they need. Now, these three trays are a little bit modified by me. I had thicker meeples than what was intended, so these look a little different, and I changed them a bit. So this was the Woodland Alliance, and you can see that I decreased the thickness of this wall here. And then the cats and the Marquis de Cat and the Ari Dynasty. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Oops. These I modified so that they slot in like this in there. And then it's your choice of whether or not you want to have the vagabonds here or the knaves here. So this is my design. It can at least also help with other things. This is a card tray that contains all the faction-specific cards in addition to landmark setup. So here's the landmarks. You got the retainers, all the dynasty cards. These are the vagabond cards and the quests and the moles here. You can put these however you want. Over here I have the advanced setup cards that you'll see right here. And then you have these clarification cards with the frog deck. And then you have the knave captains here, and then you have the hundreds moods. And underneath all of this is all the player boards. I was able to fit all of the normal thickness. I know there's an upgrade kit that has them thinner. It would probably fit a little bit more snug. You might even be able to fit a map down here. I personally like this. It's whatever floats your boat. So, when you are done, you just put everything back like so. This is layer 1. And then you just put back layer 2, which is just in these 3 trays. Now, to give credit where credit is due, these are modified files from different things, so I will be explaining quick. This and the frogs and the bats were all just modified from the Lord of the Hundreds tray. That just was the most convenient for the size and everything. This is just like a modified vagabond tray. I don't really know what to do with this other space, but it keeps them separated. This was taken from the card holder here because it had all these different things. I just sort of copy pasted them in here. I might end up attaching this to the vagabond holder. I don't really know if that's something I would do. I personally don't care, but if people wanted that change, maybe I would do that. This thing was all me, and it's just a box. And then these, I think I mentioned, I'll credit them in the description. So once it all goes back in, you'll take the pond, place it here, and all the little markers there. And you'll take this box, also made by me. Just put the burrow there, and all the other stuff. Your boards here, all the rule books and guides, and that's the organizer. I'm going to be including files and the like and different links in the description below. Thank you very much for watching.